Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Wellbeing and Sustainable Development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. So before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are commemorating International Ataxia Awareness Day on September 25th every year. Ataxia is used to describe a group of disorders while any part of the body can be affected. People with ataxia have difficulties with balance and walking, speaking and swallowing. A rare disorder, it needs individuals to collectively talk about the impact this disease can have on one's mental and physical well-being. Ataxia is a rare disease that affects 1 in 50,000 people across the globe. Ataxia is a Latin term meaning lack of order and is caused by cerebellum damage. While cerebellum ataxias are hereditary, not all are genetic. Other causes of cerebellum ataxia are stroke, tumors, viral infections, or head injuries. International Ataxia Awareness Day is observed by the National Ataxia Foundation every year. This organization was formed in 1957 in the US. The foundation is thoroughly dedicated to increasing awareness about the neurological disorder. Additionally, they also aim to increase confidence of patients who are suffering from this disease. Another motive behind this day is to ensure more physicians are also aware of ataxia. As with adequate knowledge, they can help in detecting early signs and provide timely medical care that can help a potential victim. So the medical fraternity is still working tirelessly to make advancements in finding a cure for this disease. Ataxia is not to be taken lightly as it can be fatal in some cases. Moreover, the disease is progressive and gets worse with time. And it is of paramount importance to lend physical and emotional support to patients with ataxia, which will help them manage disease and keep their spirits high. On International Ataxia Awareness Day, do your bit in whatever way you can, either by volunteering for awareness campaigns, donating funds, educating yourself, or simply getting your health checked to detect any possible signs of the disorder. Friedreich ataxia, in 1863, German physician Nicholas Friedrich first describes Friedreich ataxia. The National Ataxia Foundation is formed to find a cause and cure for ataxia in 1957. The first joint meeting for ataxia research takes place in Minneapolis to promote research collaboration between clinical, genetic, and basic science of research of ataxia, which is the first meeting for ataxia in 1975. The first international symposium on inherited ataxias is held in Los Angeles with representation of 100 researchers across 5 countries in 1977. A person facing ataxia could experience a range of symptoms such as poor coordination, unsteadiness, difficulties in performing fine motor tasks and swallowing, noticeable changes in speech and back and forth eye movement. It is advisable to seek immediate medical help if you start facing any of these symptoms at any age. There is no treatment targeted towards ataxia, so one of the treatments carried out is treating underlying issues that may cause ataxia. Ataxia can cause visual abnormalities. A person may suffer from blurred vision or double vision. They can even face difficulty in reading properly or following the movement of objects. So with advancements in the medical industry, there are pre-symptomatic genetic testings available to learn if you are likely to develop ataxia. Knowing is half the battle already won. You can then take precautions to ensure that triggers are kept at bay to avoid an ataxia episode. Ataxia is rare and not a lot of people know about it. Educate yourself on this disorder and use the power of technology and social media to spread the word about it. With adequate knowledge, people can increase their focus on their health to lead a quality life. The National Ataxia Foundation organizes events to educate people about ataxia. You can join an IAAD event too and help the cause by lending your time and support. The majority of ataxia is inherited and hence genes play a huge role in determining the way the condition will spread. The pre-symptomatic genetic testing is available for some forms of ataxia to determine if you are likely to develop it or to be a carrier. There is more than one type of ataxia. Ataxia telangiectasia, AT, Friedreich's ataxia, multiple system atrophy, MSA, and spinocerebellar ataxia. Coming to treatability, a few types of ataxia are treatable, such as ataxia with a vitamin E deficiency, which can respond to vitamin E supplements as a form of treatment. Coming to prognosis, severe cases of ataxia can be fatal in early childhood or early adulthood, while some may prove and some cases may gradually become worse. Ataxia is a rare disease that is caused by damage of cerebellum, which is responsible for the coordination of movement. It can develop at any age and can get worse with time. It ends affecting around 150,000 people in the US. While there is no direct treatment for it, there can be some help sought to relieve symptoms that might trigger it. Some medications may cause symptoms of ataxia, and if stopped, the symptoms can be controlled. Timely medical intervention is of utmost importance here. Ataxia can adversely impact our daily life by prohibiting you from performing basic functions. We often take moving around, swallowing, and speaking for granted. Ataxia can affect these things that can leave us feeling helpless. International Ataxia Awareness Day can help build a community to allow victims of this disease to come together and to know that they are not alone in this. Today is also commemorated as World Pharmacists Day, which is celebrated on September 25th, is a celebration of every pharmacist, pharmaceutical scientist, and others who are part of this field. 4 million people are engaged in this profession around the globe. World Pharmacist Day is thus not only a welcome event, but it is also a crucial holiday to honor the role these guys play in improving global health outcomes. The day is marked by events and activities sponsored by various government and non-governmental organizations. Globally, they all have one common goal: to increase awareness about pharmacists and their roles. The ancient art of pharmacy probably began with someone somewhere first thought of applying the juice from leaves to heal a wound. There have also been Greek legends written centuries ago and that spoke of gods being apothecaries and or pharmacists. The Greek god of healing, Asclepius, delegated the compounding of his remedies to Hygeia, his apothecary or pharmacist. In the West, for the longest time, healing and pharmacy went hand in hand, and they were often thought as of same practice by same person. The line between pharmacy and medicine began to be defined by the 8th century and was firmly believed established by the time in the 17th century rolled along. Now physicians could no longer prepare medications for their patients themselves. The field transformed yet again with the onslaught of the World War II. New drugs were constantly introduced into the market and the role of pharmacists became more defined than ever. Today, pharmacists performs multiple vital duties. Their tasks include identifying and providing people with the right medication, overseeing stocking and restocking of medicines, and staying ahead of medicine expiry dates. This is probably why the International Pharmaceutical Federation, FIP, established this day to honor all pharmacists. The premier global day to represent all pharmacists and pharmaceutical scientists. The FIP aims to support the pharmacist network and the development of this profession. The reason behind the date for annual celebrations to be traced back to the FIP. According to the founders of this day, they wanted to honor the organization that was doing so much for pharmacists. That is why they picked the date that FIP was established on September 25th, 1912. Countries like China, Germany, and the US and Europe, India has been consistently the biggest producers of drugs and medicines. Buy medicines and other available items from local pharmacies as much as you can. This way you can contribute towards keeping the place open and keep your pharmacist in job. Around 90% of the people in US live within 5 miles of a pharmacist. That's how many of these professionals the country has. The first world pharmacist. Many pharmacists were famous people like Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin, Agatha Christie, world famous crime author, and Hubert Humphrey, 38th Vice President of US, are only some famous names who have been pharmacists also. The first commercial drug pharmacists began selling the first mass-produced prepackaged drug called antipyrine in 1883. By the 1900s, most medicines were sold by pharmacies this way. The first pharmacy also sold traditional remedies. Louis Dufilo Jr., America's first licensed pharmacist, opened a pharmacy in New Orleans that sold voodoo remedies, opium, and leeches alongside traditional medicines in the West. A pharmacist named James Werner was creating a mixture to calm the stomach when he accidentally made what would then be known as one of the America's oldest soft drinks, Werner's Ginger Ale. It was discovered by accident. Today is also commemorated as World Dream Day on September 25th every year. We all have dreams, and we are not just talking about what happens when our eyes close at the end of the day. We are talking about the ones we have when we are wide awake. Many inventions in today's world started as simple ideas, but what brought about the skyscrapers and airplanes was the willpower of those with the big ideas to hold on to the dreams and force them into existence. Our aspirations are more than fantasies with hard work and persistence, and they are the flame that turns inventions into reality. World Dream Day is the first empowerment driven holiday that encourages families, individuals, companies to dream big and do what it makes to bring those dreams into reality with hard work. This initiative began at Columbia University in 2012 by the educator and leading transformational strategist, Ozioma Egwanowu. She consults on intricate strategic problems and transformational initiatives for an electric array of clients like Target and Walmart. Egwanowu have been featured in motivational shows such as TEDx and has been spoken at world leading organizations like the UN. Her transformational training inspired hope and ignited visionaries and provoked innovations. 10 years ago, World Dream Day was launched for the purpose of being a time where dreamers and visionaries worldwide came together to express their dreams for the future. It is a day where thought leaders can share their insights on how we can move global progress forward. When Agno was asked why she created this day, the strategist said the aim was to heal and inspire humanity. Keeping dreams alive is why we have what to do today. Without dreamers like Martin Luther King Jr. or Bayard Rustin, we wouldn't have achieved change and progress in how the world works, from civil rights to video games. Nothing would have been possible without dreams and the people who help bring them to life. So today is the day where we can kindle the powerful dreams we have embedded in us and stimulate ways to make them a reality. So the founder of World Dream Day speaks at the UN briefing on global partnership. The theme is on flipping scripts and re-examining the global possibilities to be involved in 2017. The focus is on elevating dreams to the next level as individuals and as a collective in 2019. On the 10th anniversary, everyone's invited to dream of positive possibilities in 2001. So we believe daydreaming is an aspect of daydreaming big. How you are going to bring those ideas to life if you don't imagine them in your head. Just try not to spend too much time there and forget that physical work is needed. Anyone who has breath can be part of this day's celebration. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are from. As long as you can dream or hope, you can be involved. Imagine the very best version of your dream. Take the time to carve out the details you want to achieve in the dream. Once you've got a good picture of what you want, have faith in it will come into existence. We all dream, young or old, for about 2 hours during the REM stage of sleep. Studies show that we forget our dreams due to changing levels of acetylcholine and changing levels of acetylcholine and norepinephrine during sleep. Sometimes we dream in black and white, and we also have colorless dreams. Researchers believe that animals have different sleep stages, including REM, and also have dreams too. It's normal for our bodies to go limp when we dream to prevent us from acting out. You are paralyzed when dreaming. Today is about igniting imagination and propelling innovation forward. We are also inspired to think outside the box and reimagine our lives by listening to the stories of famous dreamers throughout history that made their dreams come true. Thousands of individuals will be sharing their stories of success, the challenges they faced, and how they got through them. Today is a day to research and see who can relate with and how they made their dreams come true despite the odds. On this day, people share their aspirations and ideas on different problems that world has, well as how they believe they can solve these problems. It is a day where those people can meet individuals with a similar vision that can help facilitate those dreams and brings them to life. Today is also commemorated as Research Administrators Day in US, as they play a significant role in ensuring smooth functioning of the research enterprise. This day is dedicated to those professionals who assist researchers at research organizations and educational institutions to conduct research. Many organizations around the globe give students who participate in these researches scholarships to pursue their higher education. Research is the key to discovering new information that can be used to make an impact or bring about a change in the normal modus operandi of things. Research entails multiple roles from overseeing the compliance to review and interpretation. Research administrators carry out these functions to perfection with an aim to deliver accurate results. Research administrators help to ease the load on top management so they focus on core activities and ensure overall objectives are met. These hardworking professionals can be found in a variety of fields such as health, education, business, and government for both public and private organizations. Research administration initially started in the 1940s with a smaller number of people, but now this field has picked up momentum. To recognize the diligent work carried out by the research administrators to keep research projects on course, the National Council of University Research Administrators, NCURA, submitted National Research Administrator Day in August 2015. Later, September 25th was declared officially as Research Administrator Day. NCURA is the first and largest non-profit professional society for research administrators. They are committed to supporting research and its 7,000 members. Today is also commemorated as One Hit Wonder Day in US. The day is a perfect excuse to listen to songs that have been in your head since they first aired. So buckle up and get ready to remember all the artists whose names have been lost to time, but whose works have stayed behind in our minds and hearts. Here's everything you need to know about One Hit Wonders and the people who made them. Today is also commemorated as National Yoga Fit Day in US, celebrating physical and mental fitness through yoga. Yoga is an ancient physical, mental, and spiritual practice originating from India. The word yoga is derived from Sanskrit and is literally translates to joining or uniting, which symbolizes the union of body and consciousness. There are two general theories on the origins of yoga. The linear model posits that yoga has Vedic origins, which is reflected in Vedic literature. This model also holds that it influenced Buddhism. According to author Edward Fitzpatrick Campbell, this model is mainly supported by Hindu scholars. The synthesis model, however, holds that yoga is a synthesis of indigenous, non-Vedic, and Vedic elements. The synthesis model is favored in Western scholarship. There is no consensus on the origins of chronology of yoga other than its development in ancient India. Speculations about yoga began to emerge in the early Upanishads of the first half of the first millennium BC, as expositions also appeared in Jain and Buddhist texts between 500 BC and 200 BC. During this time, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism were taken shape. Teachings were received as sutras, and a philosophical system of Patanjali Yoga Shastra began to emerge. Yoga satellite traditions began to develop in the Middle Ages, having surfaced among educated Western public elites. During the mid 19th century, the Vedas, which are the only texts preserved from the early Vedic period and codified between 1200 BC and 900 BC, contain references to yogic and other such practices, primarily related to aesthetics and on the fringes of Brahmins. According to the Rig Veda's Nasadiya Sukta, yoga was early Brahmanic contemplative tradition. There were mentions of breath control techniques and vital energies in Atharva Veda and in Brahmanas, which is the second layer of Vedas composed between 1000 BC to 800 BC. Yoga and other aspects of Indian philosophy came to the attention of educated Western public during the mid 19th century, and N.C. Paul published the treatise on yoga philosophy in 1851. Swami Vivekananda, who was the first Hindu teacher to advocate and disseminate elements of yoga to the Western audience, toured Europe and United States in the 1890s. Early mentions of yoga in texts, there are mentions of yoga in Buddhist and also in Jain text in between 1500 BC to 1200 BC. Though Vedas were existing in oral tradition, the written form also started since 1200 BC to 900 BC. The N.C. Paul publishes his book Treatise on Yoga Philosophy in 1851. The first yoga teacher to advocate yoga to Western audiences tours the United States and Europe is none other than Swami Vivekananda in 1890s. So the main purpose of yoga fitness is to improve strength, balance, and flexibility. Slow movements and deep breathing increase blood flow and warm up vessels, while holding a pose help to build strength. One of the most popular yoga myths is the belief that one needs to be flexible before ever setting on a foot mat. However, the truth is, flexibility is not a prerequisite. It is purported that the yoga is best practiced between 2 and 5 times a week. So do some yoga, practice fitness as a way to celebrate National Yoga Fit Day. Do some research and educate yourself on the origins of yoga and yogic teachings. Join the conversation on social media with the National Yoga Fit Day hashtag. So yoga is thousands of years old. Yoga has existed for well over 5,000 years. Yoga is a word originating from Sanskrit and means union. Yoga is one of the oldest disciplines in the world. Yoga was originally practiced as a means of healing therapy, but later expanded into full discipline. Yoga was introduced to Europe and in the United States in the 18th century. Yoga teaches discipline and tolerance to everyone who practices it. It's nothing but beneficial. Yoga helps individuals with calmness. Practicing yoga produces a well-rested mind. Yoga is a discipline that gives all-around well-being right today. Today is also commemorated as National Women's Health and Fitness Day in US, which is celebrated every year on the last Wednesday of September, falling on 25th this year. It is a special day to promote the importance of health awareness and fitness for all women. Though healthy living is important for both women and men, this day acknowledges that each gender has specific needs when it comes to health. Today is also commemorated as National Tune-Up Day in US, observed every year on September 25th. The day reminds homeowners to prepare the house for winter heating season. Heating and cooling specialists suggest that homeowners tune up their heating systems every year well before the temperatures start dipping. So these tune-ups ensure that the systems are operating the way they are supposed to do, and to you and your family remain comfortable in the winter months. Every responsible homeowner knows that the systems are only good as tune-up. Schedule an appointment with your super and get your house essentials checked. Today is also commemorated as National Roadkill Day in US. Although you may assume that National Roadkill Day is about raising awareness about the dangers of roadkill or how it's an issue that so many animals die on the roads, this would be wrong assumption. National Roadkill Day is actually about raising awareness about roadkill as an immediate and no waste alternative to help feed many hungry Americans. Roadkill refers to wildlife being hit or killed by moving cars since the invention of automobiles in the early 1900s. When the data surrounding roadkill started to mount up and became a safety and ecological concern, Joseph Grinnell, a naturalist, began to look into the issue. He estimated that in California alone, the number of animals being hit by vehicles was somewhere in the hundreds or even thousands every day. That was a century ago, but the numbers have only increased in more recent times. According to the state farms, according to state farms, there are 2.1 million insurance claims concerning animal collision incidents in US between 2020 June and July 2021. Pennsylvania was reported to have had the more cases of animal collisions, climbing to 1,66,404 for the just that year. It is estimated that in 1920, that animal collision incidents in one state averaged around 12,000 incidents in a year. According to studies, California went from around 12,000 collisions to 1,04,767 incidents between 2020 and 2021, an increase of 92,767 incidents. The reason why roadkill incidents have jumped so high is due to several factors. First, the human population has rapidly expanded its numbers alongside the size of towns and cities. We have forced animals to live in man-made environments, despite its dangers to all creatures involved. Second, people's driving has become significantly faster and more distracted. Normal highway speeds already pose a fatal risk when it comes to collisions due to being distracted, but many people still drive at a high speed. An estimate of around 1.6 million crashes in the US are caused by drivers being distracted by their phones. When you add all of these factors together, it is easy to see why roadkill has become as prevalent as it is in the US. So, an important research resource as roadkill serves as a way for the scientists to study the anatomy and biology of animals without killing them. Scavengers thrive as animals like vultures, crows, and foxes thrive on roadkill as carrion is part of their natural diet, and in turn, their eating of roadkill prevents carcasses from staying on roads for long. If roadkill is fresh enough and well cooked and it is generally considered safe for consumption, this practice is currently legal in 49 states. Of course, we don't promote any cruelty here. Despite roadkill being legal to eat in most of the America, it is still looked down upon by most people. Confusingly, there is a popular show called Roadkill, and it's about modified cars, not animals. So, regardless how you view the cooking and consumption of roadkill, the fact still stands that roadkill is sometimes all a family has to eat in a perspective. As in 2020, a study found that 35% of the Americans experience food insecurity. This means that 35% of Americans skip meals going hungry and struggle to afford food every month. Roadkill offers a zero cost, zero waste way for this percentage of the population to ensure there's food in their freezer. A National Roadkill Day raises awareness about the dangers of our transport and driving habits posed to animals that share our roads and cities. Let's all take part in some way or another. Say what you want about peoples who choose to use roadkill as a food source, but it's undeniable that there are growing culture and community for those who have adopted roadkill suicide. This day is a perfect time to explore that culture and share it with others. And moreover, they are also species like us, so don't cause any harm to them. Treat they are also as equal as human beings and always be cautious. Just imagine what would happen if, in case of animal, there is a human being. So always slow down and be cautious and stay away from distractions. Today is also commemorated National Psychotherapy Day in US. Mental illness was disregarded and also considered a real health problem. Over the years, people have started acknowledging that for overall well-being, your physical as well as mental health needs to be in good condition. Fortunately, there have been quite some advancements in the field of treating mental problems, one of them being psychotherapy. However, there is a need for increased awareness of this form of therapy and the benefits it can provide. Today is also commemorated as National One Hit Wonder Day, which has been already commemorated. Today is also commemorated as National Lobster Day. But this is not related to conservation of lobsters, but as a culinary day. But still, they are also species, try to avoid eating them, harming them, so that they also don't become endangered and extinct. Today also commemorated as National Food Service Workers Day in US. It is a day set aside to recognize, appreciate, and thank the staff that works in the food service industry. Hosts, waiters, chefs, cleaning staff, and managers are all integral members of the teams that make up that food establishments run smoothly. Whether they work in restaurants, coffee shops, caves, nursing homes, hospitals, schools, and more, these employees aim to provide us with the best service possible. Today is also commemorated as National Daughters Day in US to celebrate and cherish our daughters who bring us much love and into our lives. Although we don't really need a reason to celebrate our children, it's nice to be given the opportunity to pay our daughters some extra attention and show them how much they need and love. We remember to show unconditional love to the guardian of our family trust, our beautiful, witty, creative, and sometimes demanding daughters. For aging parents, especially a daughter maintains a level of connectivity and commitment that keep families together and healthy. Of course, that's not to say that sons don't their part, but today we are talking exclusively about daughters. Today is also commemorated as National Cooking Day in US. It can be easy to get in a rut of constantly ordering takeout, heating up frozen meals, or settling for a dinner of apples and cheese. But if you want to feel truly nourished, then nothing beats a home-cooked meal. It's nice to slow down, enjoy the process of preparing your own food, and the joy of eating it. That's why we are celebrating National Cooking Day on September 25th. National Cooking Day encourages and inspires each of us to deliver something new, enjoyable in the kitchen. It's a time to learn new skill by preparing something delicious for loved ones and ourselves. So put on your aprons and let's get cooking. Today is also commemorated as National Comic Book Day in US. The genre has grown into include full-length books or graphic novels and inspire countless movie adaptations. While they were first typically humorous in nature, it didn't take long for the authors to apply the comic style to all genres of storytelling. Today is also commemorated as Math Storytelling Day in US. Many peoples, when they hear the word math, are often immediately uninterested. To be fair, math is a difficult skill to master and requires practice. But who said you can't master it in a fun way? Math Storytelling Day encourages people to go beyond rote memorization and incorporate storytelling instead to develop more interest in the subject. Today is also commemorated as German Butterbrot Day, which takes place on September 25th, which celebrates the well-loved German meal staple of butter bread. Although butter bread sounds like a rather bland meal, it is actually a wonderful basis for any type of meal, whether you want a light breakfast of jam on toast or a hearty dinner on sistel or butter bread. You are always going to start with bread and butter, and that's always a good place to start in the West. The adaptability of the food staple is part of why it remains popular, even if it's easier to make. Instant food or order in. German Butterbrot Day provides an opportunity for people to try some wacky combinations or share their own favorite recipes of butterbrot. Today is also commemorated as Bingy Day in US, which is celebrated annually on September 25th as a fun and relaxing day to binge watch your favorite movies, series, or TV show. The day is not a federal holiday, so it's not a day off unless it falls on the weekend. The day can be celebrated alone or with friends while watching anything on TV on the big screen while having snacks, so get ready. The word bingy in original terms means to soak, to be soaked fully in wet mud, sweat, or anything that you can get soaked in. Since its introduction in the 18th century, the term has been used to describe the soaked up state of anyone who is bogged down in a ton of labor. There is also commemorated as Mahalaya, also known as Sarvapitra Amavasya, which is celebrated on September 25th this year and also marks the ongoing of Mahalaya and also Pitrupaksha. Actually, this year, as per Hindu traditional calendar, it is falling on October 3rd, which is Sarvapitra Amavasya. As per English date, it is falling today, but actually, as per the Hindu calendar, it is falling on October 3rd, so which is a religious significant day for all Hindu devotees. Many people remember their ancestors and make tarpan or shraddha offerings to make their souls happy in their life. It also serves as a reminder to be faithful of how much has changed and how no matter where you live or how far you are away from home, the notes of Mahalaya will also ring in your ears. Come celebrate this day of the hope and happiness with us. According to Hindu calendar, devotees of Ma Durga celebrate Mahalaya in a week before Durga Puja. Mahalaya is observed on the last day of Pitrupaksha. According to Hindu mythology, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara created goddess Durga on this day to defeat the demon king Mahishasura. As a result, Devotees have marked this day as arrival of goddess Durga from Kailash Parvat to her divine powers. Hindu devotees believe that the demon king Mahishasura was given the blessing that no god or human could ever kill him. After receiving the blessing, Mahishasura attacked the Devatas and they were forced to flee Devlok after losing the war. All the Devatas prayed to Adishakti along with Lord Vishnu to save them from Mahishasura's wrath. It is believed that a divine light emerged from the bodies of all Devatas and took the form of goddess Durga. Ma Durga fought Mahishasura for 9 before killing him on the 10th day. Ma Durga is revered as a goddess of power, and Durga Puja is widely celebrated across the country. Devotees pray to the goddess who is said to visit earth to bless people for 10 days straight. An auspicious puja is performed to honor vulnerable devotees, rise early in the morning to worship the goddess by singing Chandipat and listening to religious mantras like Mahishasura Mardini. Sculptures create and color the eyes of the goddess Durga. Many people observe the day to remember their ancestors on Mahalaya Amavasya morning. Devotees bid farewell to their ancestors and in the evening they perform Durga Puja for the goddess who steps on earth to bless the devotees. This festival is celebrated with great zeal and devotion in West Bengal, Odisha, Karnataka, Tripura, and across the world where Hindus and various other people who celebrate and commemorate this day and perform rituals. So food offerings for the ancestors are usually prepared in a silver or copper vessels or even mud or clay vessels, whichever one can afford, and served on a banana leaf or in the cups made of dried leaves. Typically, dishes are kheer, lapsi, rice, dal, spring bean, gaur, that is vegetables, and an yellow gourd, and so on, based on the seasonal, availability and locally available foods, fruits, and vegetables. On Mahalaya Amavasya, ancestors or Pitrus are worshipped with dhoop, diya, and flowers. Devotees also offer a mixture of water and barley to the forefathers to appease them, wear a sacred thread on the right shoulder, and a splint is given away as a donation. Generally, every Amavasya, for those who have a practice of offering till and water to the ancestors and forefathers, according to Garuda Purana and Agni Purana, the day is not only to pay respects to our ancestors, but it also prevents the whole family from facing an unnatural or unexpected deaths. Mahalaya guarantees they will live in a good, healthy life till their last breath. Mahalaya is a massive annual celebration in which many people gather to commemorate the goddess Durga. This means that there are many ways for you to get involved. You can help prepare some of the various foods that will be served around houses and public spaces with floral decorations, or ensure that everyone's ritual garb is clean and ready for the big celebration. Every year, sculptors pay homage to the Durga on Mahalaya by creating beautifulized sculptures to sell and celebrate the special occasion. On this day, you can create your own versions of Durga Sai using clay or another material of your choice. Once you are done, decorate your home in time for festivities. Listening to traditional songs and stories to commemorate the tale of Ma Durga and Mahishasura, it is a great way to have authentic Mahalaya celebrations. Many resources are available online as a visual content you can share with kids so that they can understand and take part in festivities. Hindus believe that the soul can endure various physical challenges in the body and that our previous lives have contributed to the people we are today. Lord Brahma, creator, Lord Vishnu, preserver, and the Lord Shiva, destroyer, are the three major Trimurti gods of Hinduism. Hindu devotees believe souls reincarnate in the cycle of rebirth, that is, cycle of birth and death. In Hinduism, creation concepts include yoga, Ayurveda, astrology, Vastu, Jyotish, Yajna, Puja, Tantra, Vedanta, Karma, and so on. It's all part of the lifestyle. According to Hinduism, all living things have a soul or Atman, which is defined as constant truth, consciousness, and happiness. Hindus are ever truthful and happy. That's why the world, in spite of so many religions, in spite of so many belief systems, still all the religions thrive under the umbrella of Hindus. It conserves religion and tradition, as many countries around the world value history and religion as something to be remembered and celebrated, as well as something that influenced the creation of their society. Therefore, Hindus and Indians find joy in celebration of Mahalaya every year. Even today, also, after so much secularism is preached by so many people, even today you don't see any other religion is so peaceful in harmony as Hindus do. Hinduism, treats everyone as equal and everyone as family members. And they promote also others following their own practices. But other religions, unfortunately, especially not everyone, but the followers, majority of them are spreading hatred towards each other with hate speech and lot of discrimination that is happening, that is creating unrest. So any religion should ultimately promote love, peace, and harmony. Every year, these Mahalaya celebrations usher in new devotees. These people take part and observe the festivities, become enlightened, and choose to follow the religious path. We love how a national celebration can inspire devotion and purpose. Through festivities that involve entire cities and regions, a very blessed spirit of togetherness and community is observed, celebrated. People value community, especially honoring and preserving religion and tradition in a world where society is easily changed or tarnished. So with this, we shall end today's commemoration. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's commemoration. See you all tomorrow. And on coming 28th, we have World Rabies Day celebrations. And 30th September, we have suicide prevention program scheduled. And on 1st, there is one more program organized by Department of Linguistics, Osmania University, at 4 o'clock on October 1st. We request you to register and share these details with your fellow friends, colleagues, students, and researchers, and actively participate in the upcoming programs along with the daily series. So we thank you once again. See you all tomorrow. Kindly fill up the feedback form before you leave the platform. Take care. Good night.